Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make something like this in Google Drawing so that when it comes to making your piece of art for the Pop Art Onomatopoeia project, you don't have to draw it all by hand. You can trace your words or objects if you need to. So you can use this for just letters if you want to, or you can do like what I did here and find images that you could trace as well. And then you could go back in and add details later. So I added more to this, and I'm going to be adding polka dots in more places than we see on here. This is just basically a template to get the setup. You don't need to worry about color with this. So I'm going to show you how to do this today. So before we start this process, you want to make sure that this handout is complete. You should have chosen your onomatopoeia word and then an object that is going to represent the sound being made. So I chose scissors for the word snip. And then in this space below, I've sketched out my idea and shown where I'm going to be using dots in my final design. So once you have your design kind of figured out, then we can go into Google Drawing to actually create this version of it. So if you open up a Chrome tab and just type in Google Drawing, and then if you click this first one, Google Drawing, easily create diagrams and charts, we're going to click into there and this should pop up on your screen. Now our final piece of paper is going to be an 8x8, so just so we can make sure that this document is the same size and then we don't have to adjust it later with printing, I'm going to click on File, scroll down to Page Setup, and then change Standard to Custom, and turn this into 8x8 and make sure that this part says inches. So 8x8, click apply, and now the canvas or board that I'm working on is also an 8x8, so I know that this is going to be the same exact size as my paper. To insert your words, you're just going to click on this insert button over here and then click either a text box or word art. I'm going to do word art for this one, and then you can type your word in here. So if my word was snip, I could type in snip, press enter, and then my word is going to pop up here. So I can at this point resize it. You can stretch it to kind of get the dimensions that you want, and then you can play around with your fonts. So tons of fonts here. If you're not seeing what you want, we can also click on more fonts, and this will bring up other fonts that are not necessarily on your display page. So I might see some in here that were not listed at first. Like I don't think this one was there. So I'm going to click this one. I'm going to click OK. I want to add it. It's called Great Vibes. So now it is the font that my word snip is in. So then I can resize this. Again, I can stretch it or squish it accordingly. If I wanted to make it thicker, I can make it bold. I can italicize, right? I could change the color. Color isn't going to matter so much in this step because you're going to end up painting these anyways. So do what makes sense to you. You're more than welcome to play around with color, but that's not our main focus right now. I'm just playing around with the line weight to see what that does, just for fun. You are more than welcome to play around with this for fun to see what you can come up with. Ooh, that'd be cool for like a sewing themed one or something. So anyways, that's just an example of how you put your text in there. For my example, I wanted all of my letters to be separate and act as separate pieces. So I'm going to actually change this. If I double click in this box, it brings my word back up, and I'm going to change it so I just have the letter S. I'm getting rid of my dashed line here because I don't want that anymore. And then I'm going to just find a font that I like for my letter S. I think that one's cool. And I'm just going to turn it, kind of adjust it where I think I want it to go. And I feel like that looks pretty good. So then I, like I said, want all my letters to be separately placed. So I can either insert and do another word art and just type in my next letter, click enter. It's gonna pop up with my next letter. Or if I wanted to move more quickly, I already like the all black look, I want these to all be kind of similar. What I could also do is just copy this. So CTRL-C, click out of it and click CTRL-V. It's going to paste it, and then I can just double click in here and change the letter that I'm working with. So that's really up to you how you want to do that. You can copy and paste and just edit it, or you can do the whole insert word art to do something different. You can play around with lowercase and uppercase. It's really up to you guys which ones you would prefer to use. So anyways, I got my letters in here. And then when I'm happy with how they look, I'm just adjusting them. I know for my particular design, I want some imagery in here. So I could say at this point, yep, that's how big I want them, that's where I want them. I'm gonna draw my pictures myself. I could leave it like this and print this. But if I want help drawing my pictures, I might need to add some more resources. So I'm gonna open up a tab really quickly, and I want a picture of scissors. So I'm gonna look up scissors cartoon or scissors clip art and go to images, and then I need to find a pair of scissors. And a good tip for you guys when you're working in something like Google Drawing and you don't want stuff happening in the background, when you do a Google search and click images, you can change your settings so you only get images with a transparent background. So if I go over here and click on tools, and then under color, click transparent, now everything that's showing up here is going to have a transparent background. And what I mean by that is there's no actual white in the background. I mean the background is clear. So you're only getting the picture of the scissors with nothing else happening in the background. So say I liked these scissors, I'm just gonna select that. I'm clicking with 2 fingers and I'm going to copy the image. And then I can go back into Google Drawing, click with 2 fingers and select paste. And then I can move my image about on this screen, kind of wherever I want. It's okay if your pictures go outside of the box, right? So I want this to be kind of going off the page. So I'm making this bigger to where it goes off the box. I'll just cut that off later. That's not a huge deal. I want this to be in front of my scissors, so I'm going to double click on it and then select order, and I want to bring it to the front. So I'm going to click bring to front, or as you can see here, short keys, I could just do CTRL shift and click the up button. So now that's in front, which is where I want it. I'm going to do the same thing with my letter N. So double click, order, bring to front. And now I'm going to start finding some like box shapes so that it looks like these are like paper or magazine clippings. So I can either click this button or I can click insert shape, and there's all different types of shapes that you could add. Pretty cool stuff. So I want like kind of like this one here. So I'm just gonna draw so that I get a shape. Our shapes automatically come up with borders, and I don't like the borders, so I just get rid of them. And just for the sake of printer purposes and being able to see this good, I'm gonna stick to light colors for right now so I can really see what I'm doing, but later on I'm gonna paint these more bright to fit like the pop art theme. So this is in the front right now and I don't want it in the front, so I'm gonna order and move to the back. And then I'm just gonna adjust my letters accordingly. Cool. And then I'm gonna keep adding some similar shapes in there because I want it to look like we have multiple pieces of paper kind of scattered around here. So I'm gonna go back to my shapes, do a square this time. This is gonna be for my letter S. Again, I'm getting rid of that border because I just don't like the way it looks. And just so I can see the difference between my 2 pieces of paper here, I'm gonna change this to a different light color. Again, it's okay if it goes off the page, and I'm sending that to the back so I can really see what's happening. Cool. It's a little hard for me to see, so I'm just changing the color. All right. And I'm just gonna keep repeating this process until I have all of my little pieces of paper that I like, changing the color so I can see the difference between them. I'm not really loving the placement of that one. Cool. And I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller so my P does not get cut off, because I do want to be able to see the full letter there. I think that's important that I have the full letter. And last one, let's try, do that shape again. I'm gonna turn it upside down this time. And we'll do pink and get rid of the border, and order, send to back. So I want this pink one to be in front of the purple. So I sent it to the back, and then I want to just send it forward, not all the way forward, because I want the letter P to be in front of the pink box. So I need to bring it somewhat forward, just not all the way. So what I could do is under order, I could do bring forward, not bring to front, or I can just type CTRL in the up sign. So I'm going to try that, CTRL, and pressing up with my box selected. And that will bring it forward like one thing at a time, so that you don't have to keep going into your settings. So you can see the I is still in front of it, so I just need to keep pressing CTRL up until I see the I disappear. Looks like my P went away though, so I might need to do bring the P to the front. That means it's going to be the foremost thing on my page here. So now it's in front of the pink, but the pink is in front of the I. Okay. So I'm happy with the way this looks. I think on my example here, I did add a few little like triangle shapes as scrap pieces of paper. So I'll just add those in just so that I have them and I remember that I wanted to add those in later. And then I'm just gonna CTRL-C or copy, and then CTRL-V and paste that so I don't have to keep redrawing the shape. I'll just do little tiny ones. Just pasting it over and over again. Woo! So that I don't have to keep remaking that shape. I'm just copy and pasting. Cool. So that's good enough for me. I think that kind of fits my plan design here. I would say, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna go ahead and print this. So when you guys get to this stage where you feel like you're ready to print, you can simply click share and share this with me. Give it a name. Pop art onomatopoeia. Let's see if I can spell onomatopoeia. I'm definitely gonna cheat. Pop art onomatopoeia. Cool. Save. And then you guys are going to want to share this with me, so change restricted to anyone with the link. I don't need to edit it, so you can just do view. You can put editor if you really want my feedback and input on there, but just view. Click my name up in here, type my name so you can share it with me, and then I can print this for you guys. And then once it is printed, you can grab your 8x8 sheet of paper and tape them together. Not enough tape that it's gonna like rip your paper, but enough so that it's gonna hold it in place, or a paper clip. And you can use the brightness of your computer screen, maybe, to trace it. Or I have tracing tablets, or we can tape these up on the window to trace. So a few different options for what to do there. But that is creating your letters in Google Drawing so that you can then trace them onto your paper for painting later. And that's it. Hopefully that was helpful.